see. Excuse me, this is my first time trying this, but I want to go and look at all of the movies that I've collected over the years, and honestly, I found them in a box under the bed because I haven't really watched any movies for the last couple of years. I have to be honest, most of these movies were purchased probably around 2017, 2018, 2019 when I first moved to Australia. And so I'm hoping that this will be entertaining to you, and that you can get some enjoyment, perhaps some relaxation out of this. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. And then I have all of these little projects lined up, so I'm very excited about that. I see other people doing this. It's very enjoyable watching them, and I thought, you know what? Why not create something that I enjoy just as much, right? So I figured since we have so many bloody Blu-rays, let's have a look and see what we got, and it would be very nice to see what you guys think, what you guys have in mind for future ideas, and tell me about which movies you see here that you like and which ones you don't like. Or should I take off my ring? Would that make annoying tapping sounds? I don't know. I'll keep it on for now, but if it makes too much noise, we'll take it off. Alright, let's begin. If it's too quiet, too loud, again, let me know. This is very much trial and error. This is the first time, and well, I'm just seeing what works, what doesn't. But let me know if you enjoy it, and give it a thumbs up. Check us a subscribe, as they say. But do whatever you want. I'm not expecting anything from this. This is purely for relaxation and enjoyment. So, all right. Enough of waffling. Let's begin. So, a quick disclaimer. I know a lot more about video games than I do about movies. So, if I at some point say something stupid or something silly about one of the movies here, anything that's not obviously an opinion when I'm trying to ascertain what a movie's about, or if I'm trying to remember things, don't take it too seriously, because I don't know a lot about movies. I just enjoy them, of course. Whereas video games, I'm a lot more at home, I suppose. So, the other thing is, I have the aircon running because I'm in Australia and it's quite warm. It's quite warm. It's quite warm. So, hopefully that's a nice, static noise, not annoying noise. And if you hear any sirens outside, that's pretty common. I live in the city. So, anyway, I'm so sorry about that. Just have to get that all out of the way. Okay. Let's begin with a couple of. So I have 3 big stacks here, but let's start with a couple of the box sets. Get those out of the way first. Let's begin with this one here. This is also apologies for the kind of strange setup where I have to kind of angle it like this, and I can't just do it straight because the desk I'm on is quite small, and I don't really have that much room. So this will have to do for now until we find something better. Okay, so here we have the Star Wars, the complete saga. Now, I love Star Wars. I always liked Star Wars, especially when I was younger. And my fiance, she had never seen the Star Wars films, right? She had seen bits and pieces, but she had never watched them fully. So I got this, and it includes all 6 movies. It's a 9-disc set, 40 hours of extras, pretty crazy stuff. The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And she had never really seen any of them properly, so I purchased it, and then we went and watched it, and she enjoyed it a lot. So that was very nice. I gotta be honest, I didn't like it as much as I did when I was young. I really like the Star Wars, like a lot of the Star Wars games are quite good, but certain movies, in particular Attack of the Clones and A New Hope, were not very enjoyable, to be honest with you. But the the other four, I always have a bit of a soft spot, especially The Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith, more because, you know, those came out when I was a kid. And The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, of course, fantastic films. So, yeah, that's Star Wars. Let's actually take it out for a moment and have a look. Yeah, it has that. Sorry about that. Oh God, I hope it doesn't make too much of a loud noise. I have to be very careful here with the microphone. But yeah, as you can see, this includes an insane amount of discs, crazy amount of discs. So we've got The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. So that's Yoda over there, and we got Count Dooku. That's it. Emperor Palpatine, Revenge of the Sith. We got A New Hope with Obi-Wan on the cover there. We got The Empire Strikes Back with Chewbacca. And we got Darth Vader for Return of the Jedi. We got C-3PO on one of the bonus discs. And, oh God. Lando, right? Lando on the second bonus disc, and R2-D2 on the third one here. So yeah, there's a ton of content on this collection, and the best part about it is it included the new ones. So no, I'm sorry if you enjoy the new ones. That's you know, more power to you. But yeah, I didn't really find it very interesting. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, I think this is a very nice collection to have. So certainly for my fiance who had never seen the series, I think it's a very it's something very cool to experience all of it at once in a very nice you know, high quality way of viewing it. So that's Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Let's put that to the side now and grab this, which again, Lucasfilm, fantastic stuff, but this is actually something that I prefer over Star Wars, which some people would say is crazy, but I really do. It is Indiana Jones: The Complete Adventures. And I just wanted to mention something that I noticed here, and I'll put it up to the camera. Something I noticed about this in particular was interesting. So this box set, I have it sitting like right there. Most of the movies were in like under the bed, but the box sets are sitting on the desk there, and on the other desk. And when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I looked at the back of it, and I was like, wait, that's a bit strange. And then realized that whoever designed the map on the back of this fucking, I'm sorry, on the back of this case, it's crazy. Look at it. So you see, right? Okay, so it's Eastern Europe, or you know, Southeastern Europe. But first of all, hopefully you can see it through the glare. Okay, so it kind of looks okay from a distance, right? But then you see a couple of issues. So I don't know how well you can make that out, but they've kind of merged Bulgaria and Turkey, and there's like the little like pathway that connects the Black Sea to the Mediterranean is gone. It's just laying down. Bulgaria has a huge chunk missing. It's not properly proportioned, and then all of like Israel and Palestine and all that, the Holy Land, it's all missing. It's all missing. It's just, there's no Lebanon is not there either. It's just gone. The Suez Canal is completely out of proportion. But the biggest omission, which made me laugh tremendously, is if you look at that, you probably have already noticed where is Crete. You know, it's only one of the biggest islands in the Mediterranean. It's meant to be right there, and it's not there. The Cyprus is there in all its glory. Rhodos is even there, but Crete, no, that was too much. So yeah, that's sorry. I just thought it was very strange, and I never noticed that before. So anyway, Indiana Jones, a fantastic. Well, the trilogy, the first three films are fantastic. The last one, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, is. I mean, apparently there's a new one coming out for some reason. But the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was, let me put it like this. When we rewatched it, because again, it's one of those series that my fiance had never seen, when we rewatched it, and it was the first time for me seeing the movies since I was a kid, and I saw the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in cinema. So I can't remember when it came out, like 2012 or something. So we watched it, and when we watched the last one, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I was like, this is new to me. I don't remember. I remember Shia LaBeouf being in it, and there's a scene with scorpions, but that was all I remembered. There was nothing else I remembered from the film. I didn't remember the plot or anything. So let's take it out. There we go. It comes up with the Crystal Skull first, and yeah, I can't remember the lady's name, but it's Shia LaBeouf, and of course Harrison Ford, and then the evil lady, and they. Anyway, it's whatever. It's not bad. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's, when you have the other ones, which are just fantastic. Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course, 1981, I believe. Temple of Doom is 1984, and I assume that Lost Crusade is 1987, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. The Lost Crusade with Sean Connery. Let me just look at the. Okay, 1981, 1984. Yep, that's correct. And 1989. Okay. So there's a bit of a gap, 5-year gap between 2 and 3, and then Kingdom of the Crystal. Wait. It says here it's 2008. That's crazy. I thought it was like older when this came out, but apparently I was 10. Okay. Right. Okay, that's crazy. No wonder I didn't remember that much of it, I guess. Alright. Indiana Jones, fantastic series, and if you haven't watched it, definitely give it a try, because it's the original trilogy. The original trilogy definitely deserves your attention. Okay. Now, let me have a quick sip of water. I'll try not to make a large amount of noise with this. Okay, hopefully that was not too loud. Okay. Now, or actually, leave that till last. Let's move over to this. This is Death Note. This is Death Note, which is. That's gonna make a lot of noise. Oh, that might be a little bit too loud, but I might not open all of them because it might be way too loud, but we'll see. There's a lot of discs in there, as you can see. Six discs in total, and it has the entire anime, the entire Death Note anime. And I mean, most people have heard about this or watched it. It seems to be pretty damn popular anime. But if you don't know what it's about, it's basically this guy who basically he's literally me. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy who's like, oh, I want to fix the world and blah blah. But he wants to do it his own way. And basically, he's an A student with great prospects, and he's bored out of his mind. But all that changes when he finds the Death Note, a notebook dropped by a rogue Shinigami death god. Any human whose name is written in the notebook dies, and now Light has to rid the world. Light has vowed to use the power of the Death Note to rid the world of evil, but when criminals begin dropping dead, the authorities send the legendary detective L to track him down. With L hot on their heels, will Light lose sight of his noble goal or his life? It contains 37 episodes, but it's like a cat and mouse game between L and Light, as you can see them on the front there, with the Ryuk, the death god Shinigami, in the background, and I believe the girl's called Misa, something like that. But yes, this is quite a good anime, and it's something that it's very easy to watch. It's very fun, but next up, we actually have three little things here. I'll grab them one by one. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z. So, you'll have probably heard about this at some point. Dragon Ball Z is immensely popular. It's a very long-running series. There's all sorts of iterations, like Super, GT, obviously Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball itself. It's a pretty fantastic series. If you don't know about Dragon Ball Z, I don't know what to tell you. Go check it out. It's amazing. But the one problem with this anime, and the reason I have only 3 of these, season 1 with Raditz, Goku, Piccolo, Nappa, Jatsu, and Cyberman. Season 2 with a bunch of characters on the front, actually, with you can see it. Look, it makes like I'm pointing at I'm pointing at the damn microphone as if it's the camera. But you can see here that when you put them next to each other, they become like a big storybook. They're a part of one. You can see Goku's arm connecting there. Badly, but it's connecting. I should remember that the camera's here, not over here. Okay. Another Cyberman, Tien, Yamcha, Sorbonne, and Dodoria, Bulma, Vegeta, Gohan, or Kid Gohan, I suppose. What is his name? Gildo, something like that. Raccoon, of course. Ginju, and I believe that's Burda in the Burda's arm there. And that's season 2, and then season 3 we have Burda, Jace, who's the Australian character, which is pretty funny. Krillin, Dende, the old, gosh, what's his name? The younger guy, I'm trying to remember his name. It just slips my mind, but that's Dende, and that's Frieza's final form. No, it's 100% final form. Yeah, it's one of those animes. Every villain, every character has like 20 forms, and it's very cool, but it's also quite silly. Regardless, the reason I only have 3 out of the 9 seasons of Dragon Ball Z is because we wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z, and so we acquired the first season and then the second season, and we didn't even finish the 3rd season. Not because we didn't want to or because it was bad, but because there is so damn much of it, right? So this is the first 3 seasons, but in the first 3 seasons, look, Dragon Ball Z is kind of known, right? It's kind of known for taking things at a snail's pace. Very much so. And that kind of makes it very difficult to enjoy sometimes because of you really have to be invested, and if you're not, if you're starting to get bored, it becomes a slog, and that's a shame because the actual story and the characters are fun, it's interesting, it's cool, in the traditional sense. And I think the video games, especially the Budokai and the Budokai Tenkaichi series, are fantastic, and if you want to experience the entire story playing those, especially something like Budokai Tenkaichi 2 or 3, are just the best ways of experiencing the story. The anime is great. It is just something that you should only watch if you want to have the time and to don't mind a lot of filler. So I do intend on getting the other seasons at some point just for collection's sake, but it's a shame that because for us, both of us, Eric and I, we're both quite busy, and we just don't have the time to sit here and watch bloody, what's that, 1,000 minutes per season? Yeah, 1,000 minutes per season, 9 times. And then you got Dragon Ball and bloody GT and bloody Super. So yeah, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of content. But if you want to experience all of it, it's just it's a has no control, even over his own will. Episode 1 to 25. 625 minutes. This is Berserk, which is quite famous anime, and it's something that the Guts theme is one of my favorite songs of all time. I think it's great. It's brilliant. But I've never seen the anime, and I picked it up. It's probably the most recent thing I picked up out of his entire catalog of movies and stuff. But I recently picked it up, and I haven't watched it yet because, well, we haven't had the time again. But I will watch this because I've heard nothing but good things, and some of my friends really recommend it. So I will definitely give this a watch, and I'm sure I will enjoy it. So. That is Berserk. Also one of the few animes, animes that I could find that is actually rated MA15+. So I should mention, and I'll show you when I show you the next thing. I should mention that pretty much everything, with the exception of, I believe, one thing in this entire list, or maybe a handful of other things, but with the exception of only a few movies, everything here will be the Australian version of the Blu-ray, with the Australian rating system on it, because, well, they were almost all purchased in Australia. So this is the TV show Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, and it is a freaking good show. But this is season 1 to 3 plus the abominable. Fuck, that's a abominable. Surely that's correct. Whatever, Pride. I have not seen that. It's meant to be like a special or just one episode that's separate, I suppose. I haven't seen it. I have seen 1, 2, and 3, and I also have right here season 4, which I picked up a long time ago and never watched. As you can see, it's still wrapped in plastic. But season 1, 2, and 3, I love. I saw them when they came out. Well, that's not strictly. I watched all of them when the 3rd season came out, and I was aware of the show before that, though. But I very much enjoyed it, and the reason specifically I like it so much is it's 3 episodes per season, and every episode feels like a movie. It's like an hour and a half, which for me personally, I'm not someone who enjoys watching TV shows because they're just so long, especially American TV shows, like crazy. 24 episodes or 22 episodes a season, and on top of that, it's like 8, 10 seasons, 12 seasons, whatever. This is great. This is 4 seasons, but 3 episodes, an hour and a half. So you can watch them like you would watch a movie, right? 1, maybe 2 a day if you want to, if you're enjoying it. And that's how I watch these, and they're great. I really enjoy either, for example, there's a TV show, the TV shows I tend to enjoy that are American tend to be comedies, like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or How I Met Your Mother and stuff like that, because they're shorter episodes. And this way of doing things with the long episodes is also a great way of doing stuff, but in between, when they're like 50-minute episodes or hour-long episodes, and there's 24 of them in a season, it just becomes, I can't stick with it. It's too much. I prefer movies or, just video games. Anyway, this is a fantastic show, and the fact that it's British, I think there was an American version of this made, but it wasn't very good. This show is fantastic. So, I recently got it out because I wanted to watch it again. I haven't watched it since the first time I got this, which was a long time ago, and I'll watch season 4 as well. So. Next up, I have one more box set here before we get onto the movies, and this is the Pokemon Indigo League Season 1 Blu-Ray Collection. This is a Blu-ray collection of the first season of Pokemon hadn't seen the first scene of Pokemon since I was a child, and watching it again, it really made clear how much better, how much more I enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon, but at the same time, God, it's nostalgic and it's so fun, especially watching it with my fiance. It was great fun. It's a shame that there's not more of it, like Master Quest and Battle Frontier and stuff like that. I wish the first three, not seasons, but the first three like series were remastered. You know, how would we say the first three gens were remastered for Blu-ray. But regardless, it's an interesting design with the the Pokedex motif is a very interesting design choice. I like it a lot. It's very nice, and so that is the Pokemon Indigo League first season remastered for Blu-ray. Now. That's it for the TV shows. That is it for the TV shows. Now we're going to the movies, and we have three stacks here. Three big stacks. So I'm already almost half an hour in. Gosh, this is going to be a long one, but it's always better to take your time and properly talk about this sort of stuff than ramble on and just not really, thoroughly express what you feel about a certain subject. So anyway. Here we go. Fantastic. Just starting in the middle pile for no good reason, but a fantastic film. Parasite, a film by Bong Joon-ho. It won the Palme d'Or at the Festival de Cannes in 2019. It won Best Picture, did it not? I believe so, yes. I believe it did win Best Picture, not just foreign language film. It is fantastic. I'm not going to talk about the story because it is so about that. Hold on, let me carefully. Okay, sorry about this. This Blue Yeti microphone. The microphone, not the microphone port, but the what is it called? The connector to the USB that plugs into the PC. It's very much broken, and every time I bump it on accident, it makes this pitching noise. I really hope that's not destroying the audio recording. Let's hope for the best, but I'll be very careful. I also picked the wrong headphones to wear for this because the cable for it, they're quite good headphones, but the cable is so long, and I just sort of curled up on my lap. So this film is fantastic. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's something that you really have to experience. It's really, really worth your time. It's one of the best films of the last couple of years, and in my opinion, I watched recently everywhere, everything, all the time, or whatever. And this film, it blows that out of the water. This film is so much better. I think the other film is quite overrated. I know some people really like it, and my fiance liked it. She showed me, but I was quite underwhelmed, sadly. But this thing, she showed me this when this came out, and incredible stuff. It's very much worth your time. So, yeah, I just wanted to say, winner of the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, which is the best film award at Cannes, the first ever for a Korean film. It's a family tragic comedy. It's the latest masterpiece by Bong Joon-ho, the director of The Host and Snowpiercer. Also, I believe Mother, which is he did make Mother. I'm almost certain of it, and it wasn't Park Chan-wook. I'm almost certain, but Parasite confirms his position as one of the world's most inventive and captivating filmmakers. It's just great. Worth your time, 100%. Anyway, I said I wouldn't talk about it too much, but I didn't want to mention anything about the story because having this film spoiled for you in any way it's no good. It's no good. So we'll make a neat little pile over here. And sadly, I didn't mean for this to happen, but you can already see it. I wanted to leave this thing till last. Actually, yeah, let's pretend you didn't see it, and we'll leave it till last. So, next up, The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. It is Andrew Niccol. Is it Andrew Niccol? Oh god, I shouldn't have said that. That's gonna be dumb. Directed directed by Peter Weir. It's written by Andrew Niccol. That's right. All eyes are on Burbank, Truman Burbank, that is, and you'll want to join the masses in taking a fresh new look at this marvel of a movie from director Peter Weir. Whatever. Truman, Jim Carrey, played by Jim Carrey, is about to discover just how abnormal his seemingly normal life is. Well, if you don't know about this film, it's something that it's very crazy. Because this was released in 1999, I think. It's just 1998, and the way that it displays this character is fantastic, because it shows someone who's in a basically like this. I'm not gonna say anything, but they're living in this town, and the whole world is watching them. Their whole life is a lie, practically, and especially nowadays with the social commentary of this film is great, and especially nowadays it doesn't ring. It couldn't ring more true in like, especially someone living in Australia. The level of surveillance and CCTV we have nowadays, and how much of everyone knows everything about you. The government knows anything you say, do, think. You know what I'm saying? And this really is something that it was a weird, like what does it call it? Damn, I forgot the word for it. It seemed like it was kind of preparing people for that world. But Jim Carrey, as in many of his films, is a phenomenal actor, and this one is definitely one of his best. So that's The Truman Show. Next up, we have Peter Rabbit. This thing is actually a lot better than I thought. We only have this because my fiancée, she really wanted to watch it in cinema, and we missed it because we went to Europe at the time to visit my family, so we missed the running of it. So I bought it on Blu-ray for her, and we watched it, and it was actually quite good. I liked it. It was charming, adorable. That is exactly what it kind of is like. I know that there was a second one that came out at some point, but it was delayed because of COVID, and it came out later, and we didn't, like, we kind of forgot about it. But yeah, it's not a bad film. It's quite funny. It's a kids film, but it has some interesting themes. So that is Peter Rabbit. Excuse me. Let me have a sip of water. Again, I hope it's not too loud. Oh, that's a bit loud. Oh. This is, this film is one of those films that doesn't really need an introduction. I don't have to tell you what this film is, man. Fight Club, the 10th anniversary edition. It is a movie like no other. There's a reason it's one of the greatest films of all time. Directed by Oscar-nominated David Fincher. It is an uncompromising American classic, certainly. Starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, Helena Bonham Carter, Meatloaf, Jared Leto. Yeah, it is a star-studded cast, and the performances in this film are just, it's something else. One of their best performances, both Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, and yeah, definitely a classic. Definitely a lot of people now would know it as similar to something like American Psycho, where it's very much a literally me film. But look, it was released in 1999, just like American Psycho, or I think American Psycho is 2000, but it very much speaks to that sort of, a generation of men raised by single mothers, and the gambling and drug addictions of the 90s, and it's there's such a thick atmosphere to these movies, and American Psycho is the same, of course. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, it's fantastic. Most people have seen this. If not, please go and watch it because you're doing yourself a disservice. Next up, we have something very interesting. This is The Raid and The Raid 2. I actually got this because of the recommendation of a YouTube channel by the name of YMS, or Your Movie Sucks, which is he's pretty popular now, but he's a pretty damn good YouTube film reviewer who's been around for over a decade now, well over a decade, and he talked about both of these films at some point, and I saw this, and it's a double pack of both films, and they're very, very over-the-top, intense action films, but they're actually Indonesian. They're Indonesian films, and I've never seen before of this. I've never seen an Indonesian film, but this is such an incredible duology. They're similar, but I think everything that the Raid 1 does well, I think the Raid 2 does even better. I think the Raid 2 is even better than the first one. But both of them are very, very fun to watch, and they don't always stay their welcome, and yeah, they're action like Hollywood couldn't do nowadays. Certainly not. It is R18 rated, it is quite violent, but it's realistic. It doesn't shy away from that violence, and it's worth your time. So, next up we got this thing, Pandemic, Shock and Terror. Who will survive? Yeah, well, not the people watching this film, the best or worst movie of all time. Anyway, if you haven't known about this, it's pretty much like The Room, but in my opinion, I like it more. It's silly, but it's quite good fun, and it's one of those so bad that it's good movies, like The Room, or what's it called? Fateful Findings, and those kinds of things. Double Down, and yeah, this is one of those. I mean, even the art, it's just bad Photoshop, and it's just great. It's a tender love story, a graphic horror shocker, yeah, an urgent ecological warning, and around the world it became the must-see midnight movie sensation of the year. Writer, producer, director, and visionary, and the master of the romantic thriller. Oh man, it is just wonderful. Give it a watch. And if you're gonna buy any of these films, buy this. Give the guy his due. Give the guy his cash that he deserves. I think he's such a masterpiece. Clearly. Now, talking about a masterpiece, this is a true masterpiece that I actually haven't seen, which is pretty bad. I think, I'm trying to think. I think, with the exception of this and Eyes Wide Shut, I have seen every single Stanley Kubrick film. But this one, arguably one of the best. Some people would even say the best. I have not seen this. Clearly it's wrapped still, and I mean, yeah, there's plenty of people that say it is one of the greatest films of all time, and yeah, it's an Academy Award-winning achievement. This certainly was. When was this released? 1968. My God. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Excuse me. Something that I have not watched yet, but I will. I certainly will soon, because I keep hearing so much about it. It's clearly a certified classic. Now to go to something bloody hell, a lot more disturbing, a lot more depressing. One of the only films that made my fiancée cry. She doesn't cry for practically anything. She's not she doesn't cry easy for media, right? She doesn't care very much for romantic sort of stuff, and this made me tear up too. It's from Peter Jackson. Groundbreaking documentary produced and directed by Peter Jackson. They Shall Not Grow Old, and haunting it certainly is. Absolutely everyone should see this film. I agree. They should show this in schools nowadays, I swear. Would make a lot of young people realize what they have. Marking the centenary of the First World War, internationally renowned director Peter Jackson uses the voices of veterans combined with original archival footage to bring life to the reality of war on the front line for a whole new generation. Footage has been colorized and transformed with modern production techniques. Oh my goodness. You know, when I said trial and error, this is what I meant. Hopefully it doesn't screw up the recording. But yes, this came out in, I believe, 2018. Yeah, I did. And it is a must-watch, but it is something that you need to have a strong stomach, not because of gore or things like that, but because it makes you realize the things that people have done to put us in the position where we are now. And when you see how ungrateful so many people are nowadays, it kind of, yeah, it makes it difficult. Beautiful film. Now we have two films here that I don't have a couple of films actually I don't have a lot to say about, which is probably good since we're already in this 43 minutes, but that's okay. Let's have a look. This is Gattaca with Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, and Jude Law. Another film this was actually directed by Andrew Niccol, who wrote The Truman Show. I watched this, but I do not remember very much about it. Not because it's bad, but because it was very, perhaps I wasn't in the best mood while watching it. Perhaps it was a bit too convoluted for me at the time. When I was watching it, I wasn't paying enough attention. But I remember it being good, interesting. It's made by the guy who wrote The Truman Show. It's certainly not a bad film. It's quite good. But I can't say too much because I just don't remember very much about it. Funnily enough, the same goes for the next film, Nocturnal Animals, with Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams, directed and written by Tom Ford. It's again, I don't have anything to say because I don't remember very much about it at all. Apologies, but I don't think there's any other movies where that's the case. But these two, we watched and I just don't really remember it, which can't be a good sign. But you know, it is what it is. Next up is Moonlight, which I even though it's unpacked, I haven't watched this. I think my fiance watched this. It won Best Picture, which is pretty crazy, but yeah, not seen this before, not watched this before. It's meant to be good. I wouldn't know though. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Haven't watched it, so it's probably good. Next up again, another film that I haven't seen that's meant to be good. Schindlers List. 7 Academy Awards: Best Director, Best Picture, Best Cinematography, Best Music. 20th Anniversary Edition. My fiance watched this and actually didn't like it. So, which really, especially for the fact that it's a 3-hour and 15-minute movie, kind of doesn't make me want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's so long and it's not it's not a bloody happy movie, is it? I'm not gonna, I don't really want to watch it. I kind of just don't feel like watching it, but it's good. Apparently, that's what the general consensus is. So, but I'll trust my fiance and just skip over it for now. Not really interested in spending 3.5 hours or 3 hours and 15 minutes adjust my headset. It's causing a little bit of pain. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video so far. I have a little bit of a cold. I'm sorry about that. Of course, I can't do anything about it, but I really wanted to start making these videos. I have a bunch of projects lined up. Yeah, I'm very excited to kind of, make videos because, we'll talk about this in another video where I'll ramble about a bunch of things, but we need to think about the task at hand, the task at hand, the task at hand. This video is becoming too long anyway. Let's go. This is A Nightmare on Elm Street. No, it's not the original. It's a remake, I believe. A reboot. It's from 2010. It's fine. It's fine. It's not scary. It's whatever. I don't know why we have this, but it is what it is. It's a film. Got a couple of mediocre picks just there, but here's something great. Here's something good. Here's something that I really love. A star-studded cast, doesn't even begin to describe it. Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, and Jack Nicholson. His role in this is just insane. It's great. It's Martin Scorsese directing. It's a crime classic from 2006. Martin Scorsese's best since Goodfellas as well. I don't really disagree with that, especially since I haven't seen Casino. Rookie cop Billy Costigan, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, grew up in a life of crime that makes him the perfect mole, the man on the inside of the mob, run by boss Frank Costello, played by Jack Nicholson. It's his job to win Costello's trust and help his detective handlers Mark Wahlberg and Martin Sheen bring Costello down. Meanwhile, SIU officer Colin Sullivan, who's Matt Damon, has everyone's trust. No one suspects he's Costello's mole. It's brilliant. It's one of those guys who, the guy working for the mob boss is actually with the police, and then the guy working for the police, he's actually with the mob boss. It's freaking great. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I love the ending. I love the intro. I mean, it's just a great film. Scorsese never misses. He really doesn't. V for Vendetta. What a title. V for Vendetta. Natalie Portman and Hugo Weaving. From the creators of the Matrix trilogy. At this point, this movie it also has a John Hurt, which is great. Yeah, I mean, this film, again, this is one of those must-see films, especially, just like The Truman Show, it's very much, in modern times, especially in the last couple of years, with events taking place, I can't say, but you know what I'm talking about. This is very relevant to modern days, so, yeah, give it a watch. It's from 2005, I believe. It's a great film. Very fun watch, and obviously I believe it's the origin of the anonymous mask. I doubt it existed before the film. Gone Girl with Ben Affleck. You don't know what you've got till it's gone, girl. Another David Fincher film, certainly not as good as Fight Club. Fight Club is David Fincher, right? Yeah. Yes, it is. Let's say it is. That's made me feel better about myself. I'm sure that's correct. This has I just remember this has Neil Patrick Harris, who's like some kind of sex pest. I believe maybe he's just a normal guy. I can't remember, but I believe he's a bit strange in this film. By no means Ben Affleck is a bad actor, but this film, it makes you angry, and sometimes not in the right ways. It's good. Not one of my favorites, but yeah, it also, again, is quite long for the story. I mean, more than it's the best 7 out of 10 you could possibly have. Now that's mean, but it's honestly, I can't say it's great or anything. It's good. It's good. It's good. That's enough. A Rob Zombie film. This is House of a Thousand Corpses. I do not actually have The Devil's Rejects. I do have Lords of Salem, but it's somewhere in the house. I can't find it. This is a film from when? 2002. Is that correct? Whatever. It doesn't look like it's. This is one of those films where, when you watch it, you think it's from 1968. You know what I'm saying? Like it's. Or maybe that's a bit too early, but 1979. It's in those like old sort of exploitation flick kind of styles, characteristic of Rob Zombie's films. It's fun. It's interesting. Is it groundbreaking? No, I wouldn't say that. But it is good. I believe The Devil's Rejects is better. Incidentally, the Rob Zombie films are my father-in-law's favorite films, so that's something interesting. He really likes them, and that's why I decided to watch them. But yeah, they're good. Just maybe not my style, per se. Next up, we have something interesting. I mean, most of the stuff is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Something old and interesting. This is also interesting how the box is different. This is one of those square ones, as opposed to the where the edges are more round, I guess, whatever. This is Clint Eastwood's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. What was that? Something fell down. I hope that wasn't too loud. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But everyone knows it, you know, because it's Clint Eastwood. The grittiest western ever made strikes gold on Blu-ray. Well, it's 3 hours long. I haven't seen it. Remember, I got it because my dad really likes these films, and I remember him watching A Fistful of Dollars, and I think it was A Fistful of Dollars. It might have been a few dollars more, but it's one of the two. When I was young, I thought it was pretty cool, but most people consider this to be the best one, so I thought, you know, let's give it a go and see if I enjoy it. I do enjoy the western genre in general. I think the western sort of genre is, I should probably keep this in the center of the frame, but the western genre is quite an interesting genre, I've got to be honest, and it has spawned quite a few interesting films, and especially video games, so yeah, I should definitely give this a go. Probably enjoy it a lot. Okay, The Crow, Brandon Lee and The Crow. Yeah, it's Bruce Lee's son who passed away during the making of this film, who was, I believe, shot with a loaded gun on accident, which is quite sad, quite unfortunate, of course, especially because his father died quite young as well. It's not very nice, but they finished the film in honor of him, and it's quite good. It's a lot better than a lot of other films I've shown you already. It's certainly a lot more memorable, and it's one of those classics from, when is this from? It's the 90s, obviously, but when in the 90s? 1994, okay. Yeah, I remember the soundtrack to this film being pretty dang good. The Cure, Violent Femmes, Jesus and Mary Chain, Roland's Band, Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, it's a good film, and rest in peace, Brandon Lee. Didn't deserve what he got. Of course, that's very much an unfortunate thing. Now, okay, hot take. I enjoy this film. But why is it wrapped up? Because I saw it in cinema. I've been a lifelong World of Warcraft player. Haven't played in the last 4 or 5 years. Pretty much since Battle of Azeroth, I guess that's, 4 or 5 years. I haven't played, and this film came out when? 2015. 2014, Jesus, I thought it was much, much newer, but I guess time goes fast. I watched this in cinemas, did enjoy it, didn't think it was that cool because, it's Warcraft 1, it's not World of Warcraft or anything like that, or even Warcraft 3, so I wasn't too familiar with a lot of the content, but I did enjoy it a lot, and yeah, I picked this up for cheap back a few years ago on a deal with some other films, and my fiance wanted to see it because she's also quite into World of Warcraft, and to this day we haven't watched it. So that's, yeah, we should probably watch it at some point, but yeah, it's for now it stays wrapped up. Ooh, this one is different. Grand Jury Prize at Sundance 2014, Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. Whew, it is a intense film. It is intense. It is visceral, not in the sense of gore or the sense of violence, but in the sense of just intense emotion and excitement. It's very, very fun. Andrew Nyman is an ambitious young jazz drummer in pursuit of rising to the top of his elite music conservatory. Terence Fletcher, played by J.K. Simmons, is an instructor known for his terrifying teaching methods, discovers Andrew and transfers the aspiring drummer into the top jazz ensemble, forever changing the young man's life. But Andrew's passion to achieve perfection quickly spirals into an obsession as his ruthless teacher pushes him to the brink of his sanity and his ability. Yeah, it is fantastic. Something that everyone should see, especially if you have an interest, any kind of interest in music. This is a must see. And now we come to one of my favorite films of all time, Pacino and Scarface. Oh my god, 1983. It's so freaking good. One of the most influential gangster epics of all time. Scarface is the rags to riches story of a Cuban immigrant, Tony Scarface Montana. It's set in my favorite city, Miami. Well, you'll see in a moment. It's one of my favorite actors, if not my favorite actor of all time, Al Pacino, in just an incredible role. Brian De Palma is a great director, and yeah, I haven't seen Carlito's Way, which I really should get on to. But this is fantastic. I mean, everyone knows about Scarface. Say hello to the little friend and all that shit. You should watch this if you haven't, though. It's great. It's great. It's 3 hours long, almost 3 hours long. But instead of watching The Lord of the Rings, watch this. Hot take again, but yeah. Yep. Watch Scarface. It's great. 007, Goldfinger. Ian Fleming's Goldfinger. My goodness me, this is fantastic. It's James Bond in Goldfinger, and I only have a couple of the James Bond movies, sadly. But I pretty much just have my favorites, and Goldfinger is certainly one of those. I would say my second favorite Bond film, after one you'll see later. But Sean Connery, I share names with him, and he is certainly, my god, is he an actor? He's an incredible actor, and yeah, this film is iconic for many reasons, and it's definitely, is it his best? I enjoy all three of his first, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and this one so much. I like them so much, but god, which one is the best? I think this one is the best. I'm gonna say this one is the best. I think Goldfinger is Roger Ebert is the best of all the Bonds. It is one of the best for certain. Okay, we'll get to the other ones in a moment. We still have 2 whole stacks to go through. My god, I'll hurry it up a bit since we've been going for over an hour. But no matter. The Grand Budapest Hotel, starring a huge ensemble cast of people like Adrian Brody, Jeff Goldblum, Willem Dafoe, Edward Norton, Bill Murray, Harvey Keitel, Jude Law. It has Budapest Hotel. I'm actually going to turn this a little bit. I think that would help significantly. If we turned the microphone a little bit. This way I won't be touching the cable very much. There we go. I think if it's like this, I shouldn't be touching the cable at all. I'll just be in your different ear. The Grand Budapest Hotel is a film by Wes Anderson, who's a wonderful director with a crazy ensemble cast, and I'm not going to talk too much about this film. I will just say this is one of my favorite films, and it gets my recommendation. It's very funny, it's interesting, it has so many layers to it. Watch it. Definitely give it a watch. Don't look up anything about it, just watch it, and I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it. And here we have another 007 film. This is GoldenEye with, gosh, what's his name? The Irish bloke. That's Famke Janssen, which is I believe, yes, Famke Janssen is a Dutch actress. And it's not Sean Bean. He's the evil guy. He's the evil Piers Brosnan. That's his name. His name just escaped me. Certainly, probably, I would say my third favorite after Goldfinger, and number one, which you'll see in a moment. I think, where is it? I'm looking at the lists. I'm looking at the stacks. I'm trying to see if I can see it. Yes, it's right there. Okay, good. GoldenEye, very good. Of course, led to one of the best video game adaptations of all time on the N64, legendary game. A very good film. What am I trying to say? Love the bit at the end in St. Petersburg where he drives the tank through the city. Very, very cool. Yeah. The Bond film's always just stupid fun, and it's definitely worth a watch. I was looking at the list and I was like, I'm 100% sure that I own Skyfall, and I can't see it anywhere. I don't think I have it in 2 stacks, so I don't know where it's gone, because I know I have it somewhere. Skyfall. Yes, Skyfall. I'm sorry. I'm not having a stroke, I promise. I just need another sip of water. My throat is very dry from whispering like this. I don't whisper. I mean, why would I, right? But hopefully I get more used to it over time. Now, this is great. Stanley Kubrick's. Is it his? No, it's not his best, but it is. Yeah, to me, it's top 3 certainly. Certainly top 3. Probably number 2, I would say. This and Full Metal Jacket. Everyone knows, I mean, everyone knows, but Shining is my favorite. And most people's favorite. But A Clockwork Orange and Full Metal Jacket certainly have that 2 and 3 spots secured, and I wonder where 2001 A Space Odyssey is going to place on that list when I watch it eventually. Yeah, Malcolm McDowell gives it a spectacular performance in this film. It's visceral. It's intense. A lot of incredible imagery, camera work, and cinematography. Some very, some scenes that nowadays would be very, probably considered hard to watch. But if you have the stomach for it, watch it, because it is a wonderful film, and very I'd earned 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. It won the New York Film Critics Best Picture and Director Awards. Definitely, that's what I was. Excuse me. That's what I was about to say. It's based on a Anthony Burgess novel. It's a adaptation to a novel. just hear, I have some friends, and a lot of them consider this to be their favorite film, and I know my father always raves about this movie too, so I should definitely give it a go soon, because yeah, it's still wrapped, but this was one of the last films I purchased of this Blu-ray collection, so I should definitely watch it. This and Apocalypse Now, which we'll come to in a moment, we haven't seen, and my fiance and I, we've been thinking about watching them because they're classics, you know. They're classics, what can I say? Alright, here we have The Cabin in the Woods, which my fiance actually showed me, from the creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the writer of Cloverfield, which both of those things I have enjoyed, so this was a pretty easy sell to me. I'm not usually a fan of horror, but in this case, it is done with such a funny and, what is it called? Witty, just, I don't know, it's very campy, and it's purposely done with a lot of irony and satire to, yeah, it's produced by Joss Whedon, it's written by Joss Whedon, and that's why she also said, like, I think it's Firefly, is it not? That is made by him. And she said, you know, she's a big fan of that, so she was like, oh, we should watch it, because it's not scary, it's just, it's well written, funny, you know. It's a deviation from the usual horror genre. I'll put some, where should I put them? I'll move them over here, out of sight, out of mind. To the next, Requiem for a Dream. Now this film is brutal, it's great. Darren Aronofsky recently made The Whale, which is a great film starring Brendan Fraser. You might have heard of it. This film had Ellen Burstyn, Jared Leto, and Jennifer Connelly, and another actor, what's his name, the guy from bloody Marlon Wayans, who's from Scary Movie, and like a bunch of other stuff, but I've only ever seen him in Scary Movie. Is it Scary? I think it is Scary Movie. Yeah, Was Up and all that. Requiem for a Dream, from the director of The Wrestler and Black Swan. This film is brutal. This copy is wrapped, but I have seen this film entirely. I watched the entire film many years ago, and when I first met my fiance, we watched it in my room back when we were in my house over in the Netherlands, and it is extremely dark and depressing, but it is also something that, in a similar vein to They Shall Not Grow Old, it really makes you appreciate life. It's something that makes you appreciate what you have and what you don't have to suffer through, you know. It really shows the darkest possible side of addiction. And it can be quite intense to watch. Director Darren Aronofsky turns a tale of the perils of addiction into a hallucinatory depiction of society gone amok. And basically, it's 4 parallel stories of these 3 young and 1 older lady. And they go through a lot of different struggles, and it doesn't always end up positively, as this movie definitely proves. One of the most intense endings of a film I've seen. Here we have Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien in space. No one can hear you scream. In the first chapter of the Alien Saga, the crew of the spaceship Nostromo announces a distress signal from a desolate planet, only to discover a deadly life form that breeds within human hosts. Now the crew members must fight not only their own survival, but for the survival of all mankind. Yeah, this is a film that most people either have seen or have heard of. It's quite an iconic film, and perhaps its sequel is even more iconic. This one I have seen, the sequel I have not, although I do have it over there, and we'll get to it in a This is Hot Fuzz, and the sequel to Shaun of the Dead, which we'll get to, I believe, at the end. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in a hilarious, absolutely hilarious comedy. When they become two cops in a small town in a seemingly crime-free world, but then grisly accidents rock the village, and he has to sort it out with his partner, who's a bit of an oaf. But yeah, it's just great. It's an incredible British comedy, written by, directed by Edgar Wright, and it's from 2007. Incredible. This and Shaun of the Dead, wonderful stuff. Definitely worth a watch if you like comedy, especially British comedy. Here we have The Shining, which is my favorite Stanley Kubrick film. Most people have seen The Shining or have heard of it. Most people know much about it because it is so iconic. The cinematography in this film is one of my favorite in all films. It's so intense and impactful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's vivid. And yeah, it's the shots, the cameras, what's it called? I guess the shots. They are taken so brilliantly, and it just shows Kubrick's genius at his fullest extent. And Jack Nicholson is just an incredible freaking actor. He's incredible. And actually, the child, Danny Lloyd, who plays the son, and also Shelley Duvall, who plays the wife, they're great, but especially the son, because normally child actors are just so terrible, but he actually does an incredible job. Yeah, it's if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Probably out of all of the films, it's top 3 of this is something you have to see. If you enjoy film, it's a must watch. Oh god. Hold on, let me go through this first. Before we get to the other 2 interesting things that are up there. This is Blow by Johnny Depp. Not by Johnny Depp, but we're starring Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz. It's by a guy called Ted Dem, which I don't know who he is. But I've heard good things about this film. It's based on a true story. It's basically, they have this cocaine empire or something like that. I don't really know a lot about it. But this was meant to be good. Got it. It's still wrapped, so gotta get on to watching that. Now, okay, so these 2 are, well, kind of these 3, but let me just, I'll take this one first. This is the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I love this film. I think this is easily the best in the series. It's the only one that has nothing to do with the rest of the series, and I think that's why it's the best. Because although I like Vin Diesel and I like the other actors, I never got into Fast and Furious the rest of the series. Never even seen the first one. This one though, I love it. I think it's a bloody great film, and very happy to watch it again at some point, which I probably should not watch this like 3 months ago. For the last time, when we watched the other 2 movies I'm about to show you. This, and also I would just say for any car lovers out there, that bloody it's a Honda, is it not? I think it is. I think it's a Honda. Is it an NSX with a crazy over-the-top body? It's a file side body kit. I'm not sure if all that's correct. I think it is a Honda. But that is one of my favorite, if not my favorite car I've ever seen. It is so beautiful, and it's a sexy car. It's a sexy car. Dream car, certainly. This is from 2006, bloody hell. The reason I'm leaving that there is because I have this. Too Fast, Too Furious, and this is the only one of the, let's say, mainline movies that I really like, because it's also the first one I saw, and the only one besides this one I've seen. It obviously has the skyline in it, and the biggest reason I like this is because of the movie I'm about to show you. Boys 2, let's go. Yeah, probably not what you were expecting, but basically, these two I love, and they were two of the first movies I ever saw, and basically, I don't know if this is something you should watch when you're like 6 or 7, but these films, these two of the first movies I ever watched, my dad watched them and I watched them with him, and he let me watch them and didn't mind, which is cool, because they're not very graphic. It's bloody Fast and Furious and Bad Boys, you know, how graphic can it be, right? So I saw a Serbian film, but these two, yeah, set in Miami, and because it's set in Miami, I fell in love with the concept of Miami. It is interesting that I live in Brisbane for the past 7 years, which, if you've ever been in Queensland, especially the Gold Coast, it's pretty much Florida in the southern hemisphere. So, and also the reason why I like Scarface so much is it's set in Miami. I've never been to Miami, and a lot of people tell me, well, you know, if you go there, you'll probably not like it. But I don't mind. I think it's, yeah, it's so nostalgic to me. And I don't actually really like I don't like Bad Boys 1. I don't even own it. I don't really like it. Just 2 is something nostalgic, right? Something that I like for nostalgia's sake. Then we have 12 Monkeys, which is a Terry Gilliam film, who also made Brazil and what else? The Fisher King, good films, with Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt. And I haven't seen it because you can see it's still wrapped. I haven't seen it, but it's meant to be very good, and I enjoyed The Fisher King and Brazil, so I'm almost certain I'll enjoy this, right? It seems statistically likely. 8 Mile, with Eminem, of course. Eminem's film from 2002. I think most people know 8 Mile either for the memes or because they've seen it or because they know Eminem. It's pretty famous. Kind of, I like it because, especially recently with all the documentary kind of movies that came out about Elvis and bloody the Bohemian Rhapsody one and the Rocket Man, you know, Elton John one. This one came out when he was at the peak of his popularity, or just maybe slightly before his peak, and it's just, it's so good for coming out at the time when he was in his prime. It's so good. It's not like a washed up person or someone who's a legend who passed away. No, it's someone who's in his prime, and they made the movie and it turned out to be very good. Very interesting film. Let me have another sip of water. We only got 1.5 bottles left. We should finish before the 2-hour mark. Let me speed it up a little bit. Train to Busan. Never seen it. My fiance watched it and loved it. Apparently it's very good. I haven't seen it. Again, I just said that. Sorry for repeating myself. But it is, yeah, it's meant to be fun, so I should give that a watch. A lot of people like it. And we have Aliens, sorry. This time it's War. With Ridley Scott. Sorry, not Ridley Scott, Ripley on the front. This one is directed by James Cameron. Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. And, yeah, a lot of people like this more than the first one. So I should probably give this a watch at some point. Then we have Apocalypse Now, which is Francis Ford Coppola, who made The Godfather. So, and it stars Marlon Brando, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne, Dennis Hopper, and Harrison Ford. Definitely should watch this. I was looking at the back of this earlier, and it has both the Redux and the original version. The Redux version from 2000 from 2000 is actually almost an hour longer than the original. It's interesting. I should look up which one is the better one to watch, and then give it a watch, because it is not. I have not seen it, even though The Godfather is probably my favorite film of all time. So that's probably, I should probably watch this, right? Yeah, especially since a movie we're going to talk about soon, Platoon, I also really like. So yeah, Vietnam War movies, pretty cool, pretty cool. Django Unchained. Funny story about this movie. It's actually one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino ones. I watched this on an iPad in a creek in Greece, in Athens, in an Athens apartment, the day I got released from hospital after I had a life-threatening infection that I spent 2 weeks in hospital for, and it almost killed me. At some point I'll probably tell the whole story about that, but yeah, this was the first thing I watched. And the other film I watched that same day was The Dictator. I couldn't go outside and be in the sun or anything, so I should have to rest. And I watched this and The Dictator. So I said this is the better film, but yeah, incredible performances from Christoph Waltz, Jamie Foxx, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Great stuff. I hope Jamie Foxx recovers from his recent medical emergency that he suffered. I hope he's okay. But I don't think. I think this film is certainly a lot better than what's the other one? Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, Inglourious Bastards. Not my thing. I got to be honest. Not very fun movie, to be honest. But yeah, this one much better. Christoph Waltz still was the best part of that movie too. Again, let's speed it up. This is a dual feature over here. We have The Godfather and The Godfather 2. My God, with Marlon Brando and Al Pacino at the front. I mean, yeah, regarded as one of the best American films ever. I mean, it should be regarded as the best film ever. It's really great. The Godfather is a violent and chilling portrait of the Sicilian family's struggle to stay in power in the post-war America of corruption, deceit, and betrayal. I mean, if you haven't seen these, what are you bloody doing? Godfather 2. Godfather 2, 3, we don't really talk about. It's not actually as bad as people say. I watched it recently for the first time with my fiance, and she really likes these too. We love them. Could watch these over and over. They are so much to them, and just from the writing to the directing to the acting, it's just all fantastic. There's a reason that these are as highly praised as they are. Deserve it fully, 100%. Oh gosh, my sincerest apologies for that. Alright. Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson in Belgium. This film, I will say the biggest problem with this film is the fact that it does not have subtitles, which if you're going to have Irish and Scottish characters, for someone who's not English speaking, this is bloody difficult to understand, but it is very funny. It is very interesting. It's some beautiful, beautiful scenes. And again, something recommended by YMS. That's why I picked it up a bunch of years ago. Watched it, great fun. Just wish it had subtitles. That's all. If you're gonna watch this film, go for it, but make sure you watch it somewhere where you can have subtitles. The Darkest Hour, or Darkest Hour. Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, yes, and he won Best Actor for this. Well freaking deserved. His performance as Churchill is fantastic. It's so good. And yeah, one of my favorite films in the last couple of years. Oh yeah, I guess it's 2017. That's pretty recent. I thought it was 2014 for some reason. Good film. If you enjoy anything to do with war, War II, Churchill, British politics and all that sort of stuff, definitely give it a watch. You probably have seen it already though. It's some scenes of it pretty much as that is the reason I sit in this chair, and it's just great. Anyway, watch it. Cube, the 20th anniversary edition of Cube. Fear, paranoia, suspicion, and desperation. The walls are closing in. An interesting, not a horror, but a thriller with a bunch of people stuck in a cube, and then they realize that they can travel up and down in all directions, but every single cube that they go in is like what's it called? Has different properties, so they have traps, blades or frost or fire or whatever, and it kills the people obviously. But then certain cubes are safe, and then they have to kind of figure out how to escape. And yeah, it's very interesting. And it shows the dichotomy of human, the human mentality when you're locked in a room with a bunch of people. It's one of those films like the Circle movie, which that's good, but it's interesting. And just movies like that in general, like Battle Royale, and just films where suddenly when people have to kill each other, when people have to escape, they turn to killing very quickly, and they do not mind it so much. And this is my favorite James Bond. I'm sorry to say, some people might say, oh, it's not that good, and it is what it is, but I think this is definitely Daniel Craig's best. Certainly, Skyfall is pretty good. It's not as good as this though. Definitely, the fact that it has Mads Mikkelsen in it certainly helps. Wonderful film. Also, I would say the only film outside of the Sean Connery films and GoldenEye that is, what am I trying to say? Like the non-GoldenEye and non-Pierce Brosnan movies that's good. This and Skyfall. The other one, like Spectre and Quantum of Solace, are a bit trash, to be fair. Like, they have their own, they have their little quirks and things, but they're not very good. This one is good though. I like it a lot. Yes. Anyway, we should probably. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know how you found this, and if my voice was in any way relaxing, or if it's been annoying, especially with the mic cutting out. I'm hoping it won't do it again, but I hope it didn't make too much of a crazy noise. I'll listen back to the audio and see how it goes. This is Spike Jonze movie, who also made adaptation, being John Malkovich. Some incredible films there, but this film I actually haven't seen. My fiance saw it. I saw a few scenes from it, which I thought were pretty interesting, pretty funny. But it's not necessarily a funny film. It's quite it's quite emotional. It won Best Picture in 2013. Wait, it says Best Original Screenplay. Did it not win Best Picture? I'm sure it did. I'm sure it won Best Picture. Did it not win Best Picture? Oh, it is what it is. I thought it won Best Picture in 2013, but maybe I'm wrong. Wait, whatever. Doesn't matter. I haven't seen it, so I shouldn't talk. One moment. Fantastic Mr. Fox. George Clooney, Meryl Streep, Jason Schwartzman, Bill Murray, and Owen Wilson. Incredibly funny and beautiful stop motion. This blows anything Disney has made in the last 25 years out of the water easily. It's great. It's fun. It's clever. It's Wes Anderson. I mean, he made The Grand Budapest Hotel. He made Moonrise Kingdom. He's got a style. He's got an amazing quality to him. Give this a watch. It's very fun. Especially, it's good for kids and adults because kids will see the funny folks and be like, well, but it has a lot of adult humor, which is good. It's very fun. Some water. And yes, I am sampling the Fiji natural artisan water. not seen this. I do want to watch it though because I've had it recommended to me recently by a couple of people, and it certainly speaks to my interests. So we should watch that soon. Now this thing, oh my god, it's good. Martin Scorsese, literally me, Robert De Niro, Taxi Driver. I mean, it's Taxi Driver. You've heard about this, and if you haven't, go and watch it now. It's actually really cool, right? So, it's a cool little piece of trivia for you. Robert De Niro signed on to this film when he was making, how should I say it? As The Godfather 2 was finishing up. And what's so cool about it is that his price skyrocketed after that film. And what's so nice about it is that he had already signed on to this movie, but what he did, he signed on for $30,000. Now he could have argued, he could have, gotten a better rate, he could have earned a lot more money if he wanted to, but no, he did the movie for $30,000. So big respect to him, and he certainly put in the work, put in the performance. Robert De Niro did actual shifts as a taxi driver in New York, I believe, to know what it's like, and he did a lot of research into that time, and he perfectly displays it. I mean, it won the Golden Palm, the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival in 1976. It won Best Picture. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Watch it. Die Hard, which we only recently watched for the first time. John McClane, Alan Rickman, Hans Gruber, right? Yeah, it's fantastic. Bruce Willis is best, and all best wishes out to Bruce Willis, who seems to be, sadly, been diagnosed with dementia at his age. It's very sad, especially because this movie's from 1988, which is crazy because for some reason I thought it was from 1998, and I thought that he was like a lot younger than he was, but he's almost 70. It's crazy. It's a shame, but yeah, everyone gets older at some point. It's a sad reality, but Die Hard, you've probably heard of it, probably watched it. It's great. Straight out of Compton. This is, yeah, it's in there. It's a film, very light. Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, MC Ren, DJ Ella, and Ice Cube. Straight out of Compton, director's cut. The group that defined a generation that becomes the movie of our time. Very cool that the Ice Cube was actually played by Ice Cube's son, which is very, very cool. Have your son play you in a biopsy? Biopsy? That's not correct, is it? A biographic. Yeah. Not a biopsy. God. Straight out of Compton, NWA. It's yeah. Very. It's in the vein of the Darkest Hour level of biopics, not Elvis or Rocket Man or Bohemian Rhapsody. These are much better. Much more fun, much more interesting. And we're on to our last pile. We'll speed it up a little bit. This is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the other film by Terry Gilliam, which I didn't mention. A film, this is a copy that's still packaged, but I watched it many years ago and loved it. I think it's incredible. Movies as similar as Into the Void, which is also very good. Benicio del Toro and Johnny Depp. Give it a watch, especially if you enjoy the occasional recreational drugs. This movie might give you a trip, but it's very fun. It's a very fun movie. I have to figure out where I'm going to put the next pile of movies. I'll put them over here. The White Ribbon, a film by Michel Haneke, a film I have not seen. It's about a Protestant village in northern Germany on the eve of World War I. Certainly not a light-hearted film, but Michel Haneke, he's made, I know it says Michael, but I think it's which is right there, which we'll get to. But he's made plenty of other great films like Funny Games US and The Piano Teacher and Cachet, and yeah. So this should be good. Plenty of recommendations from respectable sources to prove that it's worth its salt. An Oliver Stone film, Platoon. This is the film I was talking about before when we were talking about Apocalypse Now. Best Picture 1986. It has Charlie Sheen. It has Willem Dafoe, because all these films do. Tom Berenger. And yeah, it's a great film. It's, again, if you like Apocalypse Now, you'll like this. I mean, you've probably already seen them. If you've seen either of them, you've probably seen the other one. But again, Vietnam, if that interests you, watch it. It's probably the best out there. This is where we put them. Lord of War. He sells guns and he's making a killing. Nicolas Cage in Lord of War with Jared Leto and Ethan Hawke. It's about the guy that was recently released. It's about God, it doesn't say his name on the back. Fuck. It's about that guy, the Russian arms dealer that went and basically, after the Soviet Union collapsed, went and bought a ton of guns for cheap and then just sold them to African warlords and made just a killing, right? Yeah, right. And Jared Leto is like his, I guess it's like what's it called? His like assistant, not assistant. What is it called? Like his companion, I suppose. I don't know. I can't remember. But I do remember I really like this movie. I especially like the case. It looks so cheap. Well, it's like really bad Photoshop. I like it, but it's definitely one of Nicolas Cage's best. And he has quite a few of those. He has such a diverse range of films that he's been in. He has a lot of bad ones, a lot of good ones, but he's a great actor. This is the 5-film collection for Final Destination, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, The Final Destination, and Final Destination 5. Why they couldn't just name it Final Destination 4, I don't know. Yep, this is all of the films, 1, 2, 3, The Final Destination, and Final Destination 5, which annoyingly is a different disc to the other ones. I hate when they do that. But it's bloody great. It's freaking so good. It's so good. So they're good. They're good films. They're okay, I guess. They're funny. Some of them are better than others. The only one that's memorable is the first one. I actually quite well remember the first one. The other ones are kind of whatever, to be honest with you. 2000, 2003, 2006, 2009, and 2011. Goodfellas now. Here we go. This is more of a movie my style. Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, rest in peace, and Joe Pesci. A Martin Scorsese picture, 1990s classic. Martin Scorsese's unforgettable film. It's an adaptation of the novel Wise Guy by Nicholas Pileggi in a 4K remaster. An all-star cast, that's for certain. Many nominations. It's classic. Whatever. Forever changed the rules for gangster films to come. What does he say in the beginning? He's like, as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster. Yes, it's a fantastic film, and what a scoop. Is it my favorite Martin Scorsese film? I'm gonna say yes, because I think this or Taxi Driver is best. I have not seen Casino. It's right there. I have not seen it. I cannot say. And he has plenty of other great films too. I love The Departed. I love The Irishman. But I think it's between Goodfellas and Taxi Driver for me personally. The in-between. Yeah, I love the in-between. this TV show, and I really like the movies. The second one I actually like a lot because it's set in Australia. This one is set in Magaluf, I think. No, Malia, in Crete. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very funny. If you don't know what this is, look up the TV show. Don't watch the movie first. You need to kind of watch them. This is much more Americanized, both films. It's a lot toned down. It's still, in between us, but it's toned down from the TV show. And the British TV show only has 3 seasons with 6 episodes each. It's fantastic. Watch it, give it a go, and then watch the 2 films. Here we have Pulp Fiction. I mean, most people know about this. It's arguably Quentin Tarantino's best. It's certainly one of his best, but I'm not going to say it is his best because I'm not certain. I have to think about that. It might be. Starring John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Samuel L. Jackson, Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Ving Rhames, Amanda Plummer, Maria de Medeiros, Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette, Christopher Walken, and Bruce Willis. What a cast. Yeah, I mean, it lives on as one of the most defining movie hits of the 90s and earned its place in many people's list of favorite movies. I mean, yeah, it's Pulp Fiction, what can I say? Another Square Case. This film is great and very underrated in my opinion. From Danny Boyle, director of Trainspotting and 28 Days Later. And I've just realized something. I have just realized that I have a lot more movies than I have displayed here. But I haven't been able to find them. I thought I found all of them. But I had a suspicion earlier. Because there was a film, let me look. There was a film that I saw where I was like, oh, we have the other version of it too. I know I own both Trainspotting and 28 Days Later, and neither of those are in this little pile here. So what's happened is there's other movies that I cannot see anywhere here. And that's quite frustrating. Well, when I do my physical games video, I'll add them in. I'll find them and I'll add them in as a little bonus for that video. Okay. Sunshine from the director of Trainspotting and 28 Days Later. If it dies, so do we. It's like a story of 2057, the sun is dying and mankind is facing extinction. They basically go and they send a massive nuclear weapon into the sun. It's fucking awesome. It's such a good film. It's great. Watch it. It's very underrated. Saving Private Ryan. It's good. It is. I think it's one of the most overrated films, especially war films, and it kind of gets absolutely destroyed by things like Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, Platoon, and I mean, I know those 3 are Vietnam films. This is World War II, but it's not it's okay. It's good. It's just not. It's not as good as people make it out to be. I think, and neither is Schindler's List, and they're both Steven Spielberg films, and I'm not too big of a fan. I can't lie. Now this fucking thing is great. Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Chris Penn, Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Tierney, and Michael Madsen. Especially Steve Buscemi, and this is great. Every dog has its day. It's Quentin Tarantino's debut, and it's all done. It was all of it, almost all of it's done in a single fucking room. It's so good. It's great. Quentin Tarantino definitely. Every director has one of his weaker films, and for him, I think it's Inglourious Basterds. This is certainly not one of those weak ones. This is one that it's a ride. It's how long is it? It's from 1991. Dog Eat Dog Productions. Interesting. 4 perfect killers, 1 perfect crime. Yeah. Watch it. It's bloody incredible. We have Robert De Niro in Raging Bull, another Martin Scorsese film. which is right there. I have not seen it. I do like Rocky, but I do. This one, Best Picture in 1980, which is pretty crazy, so I should definitely give it a go. I mean, yeah, it also has Joe Pesci in it. I should definitely watch this at some point. It's another film that has escaped my time. And I'll grab Casino out straight away for anything else. Yeah, that's still locked up as well with Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone. This one I've heard a lot more about. I know my fiance's sister, she really likes this film. It's very good. It's 3 hours long. 3 hours long. But I hear it's well worth it. So, it should be good. It should be good. Now, American Psycho. Everyone knows this now. By now, everyone knows this. Christian Bale. You know, all that Dorsia and all that. People making memes, and a lot of people making a lot of cringe memes, especially when it's young, like kids. It's like kids, like teenagers, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's literally me doing it. Like, they don't understand the, whatever. Young, handsome, Harvard-educated Wall Street success. Yeah, well, it's got style, it's got substance, it's worth your time, and just, if you don't know anything about this, watch it without looking up anything about it, because it will color your view of the film a lot, I think. And not in a good way. Now, this is an Alejandro Inarritu film, Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. It won Best Picture. It has Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Zach Galifianakis, Emma Stone, and Naomi Watts. I love this film. I watched this with my fiancée, and she did not like it. She did not enjoy it at all, which is interesting because I really did like it. Much better than The Revenant, which was another one of Inarritu's films. I think it's much better than The Revenant. No, The Revenant is not bad, but I think it's much better. It's a very fun film. It's not done all in one take, but it's like, you know, almost done all in one take, and it's very cleverly edited. You can't tell it. It's great. If you're into theater, definitely give that a go. I'm not into theater, but that made me excited about it. Battle Royale Director's Cut. This is a legendary 2000s, from 2000, Japanese film that basically the Americans went and said, oh, you look at that, that's a fun concept. Let's make it PG and then call it The Hunger Games, and then completely ruin the whole point of it. Yeah, I don't like The Hunger Games, but this is the original version. It's proper brutal. It's you know, a bunch of kids on an island and they have to kill each other. The rules are simple. It lasts 3 days. Each player starts with food, water, and a random weapon. If more than one player survives, everyone dies and there's no escape. It's like Danganronpa, but not for weird people, says someone who actually enjoys Danganronpa. I just don't understand the whole crazy fandom. Anyway, we're not talking about video games today. We'll do a whole Steam library run through at some point. We'll probably last a few hours. I have 950 games at the moment. It's just, I have an issue. Anyway, bloody Valve and their marketing tactics. Anyway, Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Now this thing is great. Watch it. It's probably it goes alongside Orange for me for Stanley Kubrick's films. 7.62 Full Metal Jacket. It's great. And rest in peace to the Sergeant. Yeah, it's watch it. It's a very good time. If you're gonna watch the Vietnam films, this Apocalypse Now and Platoon, give it a go. Give it a watch. Very fun. Very interesting. Very intense. This film doesn't need any introduction. It's 7. I mean, you know, it's 7. What do you want me to say? What's in the box and all that? Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman in 7. Gluttony, Greed, Sloth, Wrath, Pride, Lust, and Envy. David Fincher. Okay. just give me him. Oh no, I did not mean to bump the mic. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I have to look because my memory deceives me, I believe. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Fight Club is David Fincher too. God. I'm sorry, like Gone Girl is okay, but fuck me, it's not as good as bloody either as Seven and Fight Club are so good. It's unbelievable they made those, and then he followed it up with something like Gone Girl. That's crazy. When it's like kind of okay. I don't know if it's Ben Affleck that's causing that sort of feeling of like why I don't like it. I don't really know. It shouldn't be, you know. It shouldn't be. I think he's a fine actor, but maybe it would have been a bit easier to swallow had it been done by a different actor. Anyway, we're gonna be going over 2 hours. I'm very sorry about that, but here we are going into the final few movies. Isle of Dogs, another film by Wes Anderson. Very cute, very fun, very beautiful stop motion, and watch it if you like dogs. This is the best film to possibly watch. It's not sad, but it is. It's not. It is funny. It's. I don't know. It's cool. It's very cool. Very cool. Watch it. Anything by Wes Anderson is worth watching. Definitely one of the most underrated directors. Shawshank Redemption, Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. It's a bit vapid, if that makes any sense. It's like, oh, it's the best film of all time. It's not. It's very good. It's like it's a fan of itself. It's like it knows how good it is, and it's just it loses a little bit. But if you go into it not knowing anything, it's your first watch, it will definitely, well, it should blow you away. It's a pretty damn good film, all things considered. This is a very nice little thing. It's a steelbook case of The Bridge on the River Kwai, which is a 1957 film, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is 1957 film. Whew, that's a long time ago, but it's 1957. I'm not going to say anything about it. This is something I'll personally recommend. We actually had to watch this in school when I was growing up in the Netherlands, and I'm very grateful that my history teacher put this on because it was very interesting and definitely one of the better, my favorite older films I've seen, like pre-1960s. I'll just put it on here. Now we have another steelbook. This is Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil Retribution. It's a very pretty steelbook. I don't know anything about. You can tell these were bought in Europe because they have the European. This is from 2012. Jesus Christ, that's so new. This is Resident Evil 6, I think. I'm not sure, but I've only seen the first one. It was okay. It wasn't spectacular, but the other one's meant to be very funny, like so bad that they're funny. I don't know, but my fiance really likes this series, so, and I like games, so I should probably watch it at some point. I just only have this one. Go. And now we're down to the final five. Oh, God. No. You're showing it all. going on a hunt for the Zodiac Killer, and you see all of his deeds, and yeah, it's cool. I just because obviously in real life, this is 2007, there was no like resolvement, so like you can kind of imagine that the movie doesn't have that either, which is a bit of a shame, but obviously it makes sense, so I'm not going to criticize it for that. This thing is amazing. I know my fiance will laugh because she is like this crazy crank high voltage are poison in his veins, vengeance in his heart. It is whack. It's done by Neville Dean and Taylor, an incredible director duo. I mean, these crazy over-the-top films. I don't have a physical copy of Crank 2 High Voltage, but if you can acquire it, get this and that one too. Watch it. It's very fun. It's funny. That's the whole point of it. It's ridiculously over the top, and both films are well worth your time. They're very short too, so just give them a go if you enjoy some light-hearted comedy, action comedy starring over-the-top action comedy starring Jason Statham. Another comedy here. We have Shaun of the Dead, another movie by Edgar Wright, the first in his trilogy, arguably the best, although I really do enjoy Hot Fuzz. I'm not going to say too much because, they're just Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, watch them. They're very, very funny comedies. I couldn't recommend them highly enough. The Holy Mountain, very, very awesome that I have a physical copy of this thing. Probably, I don't know if I can show it. It's fine. Unfurls like a hallucinogenic daydream, the scandal of the 1973 film festival. Alejandro Jodorowsky, flood of sacrilegious imagery and existential symbolism, is a spiritual guest for enlightenment, pitting illusion against truth. This is one of those films where you have to watch it multiple times. You have to watch it under a loop almost, because it is so there is so much to it that it cannot simply be explained by one watch, or even me explaining it. I just can't. It's about a character called almost a metaphysical character called the Alchemist, who basically he puts his recruits through strange mythical rites and divests them of their worldly baggage before embarking on a trip to Lotus Island, where they ascend the holy mountains to displace the immortal gods who secretly rule the universe. It is from 1973. It's R18 rated, as you can see. It's bonkers, okay? It's bonkers. Give it a watch if you can, if you have the stomach for it. And the patience. More amazing. Just incredible. Winner of Best Foreign Language Film, winner of the Palme d'Or. Michelle Haneke's best, at least my favorite, definitely. An incredibly deep, passionate, and very, very emotional French film about the struggles of old age and love, and one of the greatest endings I've ever seen in a film. And it is just the most, it's very intense, but it's so good. And that does it for our films. We are over 2 hours in, but we have one more little treat that I saved. I will indeed find all the other films that I have that are not here, because it is bothering me that they're not here and I don't know where they are. They'll be around here somewhere, but I'm getting a bit worried because I did search all throughout the house yesterday and I couldn't find any other ones, so I don't know where they have gone, but I'm sure we'll find them somewhere. They'll be somewhere around, somewhere behind all the books and that. The last movie we have here is The Wonderful Old Boy, a Park Chan-wook film. An incredibly nice special edition of the movie. As you might be able to tell, this is not an English version. Now, you can tell that from looking at this. You have the Blu-ray here, the DVD here, the music, and the bonus CD, so you can tell, right? Well, that says ein Film von Park Chan-wook, and it doesn't say a film from. This is a German special edition. I actually found this in Germany. I really wanted a physical copy of this movie, but I didn't really feel like spending a lot of money because this movie, when I was trying to buy it, it was quite expensive. But then I was in Germany visiting my father, and I was in a shop when I stumbled upon this version of the film for like €10 or something like that, which I was like, I'm buying this. Zeitlos, ein Blick auf Oldboy. Augenaufner. Timeless, a look at Oldboy. An eye-opener. Extreme visions. The art of words. Statement of directors. Or the films even made, like Thirst. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance. And a movie that I do not own. I don't know if you can see. The Handmaiden. Oh my, that movie is incredible. I don't have a physical copy of it, but I love it. It is very, very good, and if I do get a physical copy of it, I will definitely show it off. Some images from the movie, and a lot of it is in German, which is, I can read a little bit of German, but I can't read the whole paragraphs. I won't understand all the words, so it's a bit of a shame. That's okay. Love this film. It's great. Do not watch the 2013 American remake. It is garbage. This is the only way to watch the movie. Watch it in Korean. It is great. This and Parasite, two of the best Korean films ever made. Watch it. Anyway, so let's have one more sip of water before we close it out. And then we finish the bottle. Shout out to Fiji Water. And 2 hours of movies. Thank you for watching. I really sincerely hope you enjoyed, and I'm extremely sorry if the microphone made any annoying noises. I will hopefully see if I can fix it and see if the problems are very bad. If they are, I'm very sorry, and I'll do my best to resolve them. Let me know what you thought. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you relaxed. I hope you maybe found some new movies that you want to watch. And let me know your opinions about the movies you saw today. Let me know down in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you in a few days. Hopefully, I have a bunch of stuff lined up, so maybe even quicker than a few days. We'll have a look. Thank you for watching, and